Erik, when you watch them, maybe yesterday and even during the season, can you sort of point out to us in general, specifics of course, the difference between the Celtics team and your team we're going to see in Game 1 versus what we saw in Game 7 last year?
I mean, first, each year is different. So even though everybody wants to make it the exact same, there's different experiences and there's slightly different personnel and different rotations and slightly different styles of play for both teams. That's why you just have to be open-minded to the competition. We're grateful for this opportunity, to be in the conference finals, and we're just grateful for everything that we've gone through. That it turned out this way, and we're just looking forward to the competition.
Similar to you guys, they have personnel where they can play different styles. They play small. How unique is that? What kind of challenge is that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is slightly different from last year, and then there's notable versatility on both rosters and styles of play. That each team can get to something a little bit different based on what's the need for that series or that game, and both teams have been able to also do that in this playoff run. But that's what you expect. You get to the Final Four teams, you're going to get experienced teams. You're going to get great talent, competition, battle-tested teams, and teams that have great aspirations. So this is what you want.
Erik, knowing what stage you're on, you don't need extra motivation. But are you replaying Game 7 from last year? Are you trying to motivate those guys with how it ended?
No, we have a very motivated group. No, I don't see a need for that. I think that's been played out. We're looking forward to the challenge, this year and the opportunity that we have, right in front of us. I wish I could have scripted this or told the team the first day of training camp that, hey, we're going to go through a lot of stuff this year. And sometimes it's going to feel like we're in, basketball hell. But we're going to get tougher and stronger from all these experiences. It's going to bring us closer together. And then at the end of the day, we're going to face Boston in the conference finals. So just, stay with it. There'll be a lot of bumps along the way. I wish I could have said that, the first day of training camp.
One hallmark of the franchise over the years with you and with Pat has been mental toughness. Is this as mentally a tough core as you've had here?
I don't really like to compare teams. I think we've had a lot of really tough teams. It would be hard to line them up. I think that would probably be a good podcast for you, Coop.
Gotcha.
Or something like that. An article or something.
Yeah.
You have to have it. If you're going to compete for a title, you can't be mentally soft, physically soft. You have to be able to endure some things. You have to have proven that you can overcome, tough things, be able to handle adversity, show some grit. When things look bleak, and this group has definitely, proven that in spades.
This is probably something for us to ask Jimmy tomorrow, but any difference you noticed in terms of mobility with ankle? Because he never complained, but obviously there was a certain level that he had pre-ankle that wasn't quite there post. Was there a difference today you saw?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be ready to go. I'm not going to give the daily update on he's 7% better.
Right.
He'll be ready. He'll be ready for the tip-off. We're just looking forward to getting going.
You guys are always defense first, but in that series last year, forcing turnovers and getting stops in terms of feeding your offense kind of took on even greater import. Do you see this series as similar as far as defense and offense, that sort of relationship?
You definitely have to do both. They're a good ball control team, when they're at their best. We're at our best when we're disruptive. But we also feel like our offense, has taken some strides. And against a really good team like Boston, you have to compete at a high level on both ends. It's not as simple as, hey, we're just going to try to get stops or turn them over. We have to, get them thinking about some things on the other end as well. And I think the last 3 months, have been good steps for us to prepare for something like this.
Erik, knowing there's no new update, but based on the timetable we were given for Tyler when he first broke his hand, is there a chance of him playing in this series against the Celtics?
Sound really dramatic as you ask
I
that.
know, but I got to caution
I
against
can't-
your answers.
There's no way I could even answer that right
Right.
now. The good thing about a hand is you're able to do other things with that, but you can't shoot, you can't dribble, like that kind of stuff. So I don't have an update.
Based on
He
your
won't be playing Wednesday. Is that fair enough?
It's good.
That's a good enough one.
just based on your experience playing against Tatum this year and whatever film you've been able to get into, have you noticed any differences between his game in the conference finals last year and maybe some
I
growth
think
now?
with all great players, they just continue to evolve. They gain more experience. They see all the coverages. You're able to read defenses, better. He's one of those guys, for sure, and he just continues to evolve, and you have to credit him for that. His playmaking has gotten a lot better. The scoring and shooting and all of that stuff, particularly in clutch moments, that's what makes everybody pay attention. But he's a winning basketball player.
Coach, we have 4 coaches still alive. 2 of them are rookies. You are the best one. What it means for the league, 2 rookies playing the finals of the conference, and your situation, how can it help?
Yeah, I don't know, how to answer that particular part of it. I've been thinking more about, the great, proven, experienced coaches that have lost their jobs already. It just doesn't make sense, to me. When you have a proven guy and then you have an opportunity to, start again without revamping the whole culture and everything. It takes so much time and energy to restart something, and I think that's part of the reason why we've been able to reboot so many times over and over and over. We're not reinventing a new culture and then trying to teach everybody, and then all of a sudden 2 years later it's going to be somebody else doing the exact same thing. But particularly when you have proven veteran guys, it's just been stunning. It really has been disturbing. That is this coaching profession. I get it, and I'm so thankful and grateful. Every single day, working for Mickey, Pat, Nick, Andy, that are right there in the trench, with us. Particularly when things get tough. It's a blessing, really, to go through tough times. I've told the team so many times. You've heard me say it. There's a beauty in the struggle of what we went through this year, and you can really grow from experiences like that. Doesn't guarantee you always will grow from it. Sometimes it can take your spirit, and sometimes it can take your team the other way. It did not with this group. We have a very tough-minded group that embraced these tough times. And how often do you get this opportunity to, face adversity, come out stronger from it, and not bail from it? I just think these are just unbelievable lessons for all of us in this profession, and I said it the other night that these are also things that you want to carry on to your children. But if you haven't gone through it, how can you really talk about something, going through adversity? So I think it's just been a really good thing for our organization. Long-winded way of answering your question, but we're blessed here, to have that kind of support,
Erik,
when it's tough.
on a more lighter-hearted note, and especially because Bam's relationship with his mother. He said he was watching Celtics 76ers until the middle of the 4th quarter when his mom decided she wanted to watch Family Feud instead. And so they wound up watching that. What does that say about Bam and his mom and just this special relationship they have, especially on Mother's Day?
Yeah, it is cool, and I do like that too. We're going to be spending enough time the next 2 days, really dialing in. Personally, I think it is good for guys to get their mind off of it.
Mm-hmm.
We have such type A competitive guys, including on our staff, that if you're just always immersed in it, you can't gear up and get to another level. You kind of have to reset and kind of decompress. Family Feud is a great way to do it. I have not tried that, but I do find myself at times in this playoff run, I'm casually watching another game and stressing out when there's no need to. And even last night, when you can't control an outcome, it's just I went for a walk for part of the game. It's going to be on the laptop and everything right after I knew that, so I don't have to put myself through that extra anxiety.
Well, you never get comfortable, but do you find comfort going into a place like that in Boston with this type of team that you have? Like, there's a lot of veteran guys.
Yeah, our guys love to compete.
Yeah.
You know, we got our parachutes ready. We love competing in front of our home fans, but the guys equally love being in a hostile, competitive environment on the road and playing against great competition. There's deep respect for the Celtics and you know what they've been able to do. Our guys like to take on these kind of challenges. So, wish we could start tomorrow, but you know, we got time.
Well, without putting the weight of the series entirely on Bam, how has the last year of offensive development for him can maybe set him up differently for this matchup?
We'll find out, but it's really been a couple of years, and it's really his development has been built for. I wouldn't say specifically for any team. It's been all of these experiences we've had on these deep runs that you need to find different ways, you know, to get your best players impactful. And there's different schemes when you play against, you know, the Bucks or New York and Boston. It's basically three different kind of game plans, and that's been, you know, 2-3 years really, you know, since the bubble of Bam's just iron will of player development, and I've seen great improvement in his ability to be effective against different kinds of schemes and teams.
Coach, you're top 5 in playoff games. What does it mean to you this late in the stage of the playoffs this year, and just the accumulation of wins throughout your career?
Kind of what I was saying before. I'm grateful to have this opportunity, you know, to be a caretaker, you know, for the vision that everybody upstairs has, and we all love to compete, you know. So we're grateful for this opportunity. Experience just teaches you how difficult it is. You know, you have to have a lot of things go right. You have to have the right group of players, and it doesn't happen as often as people think it does. And that's why there's only 4 teams right now. There's 26 teams that are going to be watching. You want to maximize, you know, this opportunity when you get it, embrace it. You just don't know what the future holds. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Erik.